Okay then guys, what's going on? Clown Plays here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're inside of Spider-Man 2. That's right, the most anticipated game for the PlayStation 5 this year, and it's due to release in the fall. We've got so much information about this game right now, including new updates, livestream official movement from Insomniac themselves, and a PlayStation showcase that we know nothing about. With that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. But with that being said, let's dive on into it. So, the sequel to the Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales, taking everything in the first game and adding huge changes to boost the play, including new swing mechanics and so much more. We've got new villains such as Venom and maybe even the Green Goblin, which is enticing players into the more old school Spider-Man era. We have a massive movement with the characterization, as we're going to be able to play as Spider-Man and Miles in this update. But we have got some new updates to this game. There is not a lot to talk about other than what they have officially released, which is essentially that it will definitely be releasing fall this year, as they seem to be reiterating that across their socials like crazy. But there was a live stream on the official Insomniac Twitch page that had something small, though it was a massive point to say the least. The lead engine programmer speaking about the next game, which I would presume is Spider-Man 2 or maybe even Wolverine, that will feature a new dialogue tech. Now this is broad, but due to the new characters all spinning into the mix based on what character is being controlled, such as how NPCs will react based on the player that you're playing. So you're obviously going to have a different reaction if you're playing as Miles than if you are playing as the original base Spider-Man. Also things that are moving around and how they move, such as when they're walking, wall climbing, web swinging, maybe they're going to be able to talk a little bit differently based on how tired they are and the actual energy they're having to put into what they're doing. This will obviously adjust their voices, so we don't know what it means exactly, but it is good that they're looking to make changes to this degree, as this is pretty damn in-depth when we start talking about whole new dialogue techniques that are going to be put into play. The technology behind it has obviously been pretty standard now for quite some years, but now that they've now got different characters in the mix that you can play with, it'd be interesting to see how they make the dialogue switchover work. And whilst we're talking about numerous characters, character switching will be interesting as well, as I'm not too sure how it's going to work. Will we only be able to switch between them in between missions, or will they switch it for us? Will the storyline just lead us into different characters and force us to play as certain Spider-Man, or will we be able to play through like on GTA and have a selection of who we are primarily, kind of switch into the character that you want to play through in the storyline and utilize them the most until you've really got like no choice other than to play as the other one. This for me is a massive key point, because this can be done extremely well or it can be done relatively mediocre, which will mean that the gameplay, although will still be fun and enjoyable, will have a little bit more of a lackluster pointing, especially if they move you through the storyline and force you to play as certain players throughout the story in which it runs tangent. It is just one of those things. Let me know in the comment section how you want to see the character switching be placed. For me, I think that being able to choose who you play as and when is probably the more important side of it for me. Now, although we do have multiple people to play as, we know that the game will be in the same location as we have played in the previous throughout Spider-Man and Miles Morales. But will it be expanded, or will it just be as people are fearing and just be a ginormous $70 DLC? Regardless of what it is, I feel that we need to approach this soon, as the price tag on it will need the game to be larger than what we have seen previously or experienced in older titles such as The Amazing Spider-Man and in Miles Morales themselves. We know that the location can't really be changed too much based on the way that the story goes behind Spider-Man, but they can definitely expand on this to a degree and kind of open up a little bit more on the outside, and hopefully this isn't something that they could have just added as a DLC movement into the previous game. Now on top of that though, new gameplay features are important with this game, as they may have made a great experience previously. With this being on the PlayStation 5, they have a lot more room for precise haptic feedback on the controllers and more realistic feel to the web slinging, web shooting, and even just transversing in general. Just think about it, we have the new availability for new moves and mechanics for transversing, allowing you to move how you choose to move and make your way around the map in a smoother and more technical way than previous games. We just have to wait for the next reveal in hopes that they will cover something very soon. But we are hoping that they're going to be covering something come the PS5 showcase that should be coming soon, as we have now seen nothing since since the initial reveal trailer in 2021. According to the insider, PlayStation is set a big showcase to reveal their next latest games for the PlayStation 5. They will be showing these games in phases, and the next showcase kicks phase 2 for the games in PS5, and we hope that it will be before E3, with Spider-Man taking the headline, of course, so looking to be April time or maybe even into the May time, depending on how it works. Now, we have some big titles coming in that time period, including Star Wars Jedi Survivor in April and Zelda in May, so they're going to have to be careful how they do time this, as the crucial movement on it could mean that they would have less exposure, especially more in May time towards more the Zelda movement. A lot of people are really covering that game, a lot of people are really following that game, and they're hoping that it's going to be a big bang. So maybe hitting it towards more that April time period just before Star Wars Jedi Survivor drops would probably be the best move for them right now. But right now we have no idea where or when it's coming, but it's looking at the previous release dates. Spider-Man has dropped its original base game in September and Miles Morales dropped in November, so expect to see it between those 2 date periods. We also have a Starfield release date for September time, and that game has got so much hype around it, it's absolutely insane, so I'd be well surprised if they put it anywhere near that game whatsoever. Starfield has got so much of a cult rallying around it right now that I'll be surprised if we see Spider-Man anywhere within 2 weeks either side of that game's release. Although game companies and dev teams really don't seem to think about these things too much, as we've seen a lot of games in the past be released at ridiculous time periods. So overall, what are we expecting from Spider-Man 2? This is something that we're all interested in and something that we're all waiting on. We're just going to have to wait for the PlayStation showcase, and for me, I'm actually gutted that we've seen absolutely nothing as though far, but this is something that we'll just have to dwindle on. Let me know what your comments are in the comment section below and how you guys are feeling about this game, considering we've not seen absolutely anything on it for the last year and a half now. This is something which I hold quite dear to my heart, as I feel like they should be, as game development teams, slowly releasing certain things and showing us the development process of it and giving us little snippets. But as we get closer towards the full time period, the marketing scheme will ramp up, as we have seen throughout a lot of old programs before, so we'll start to expect to see some more things coming up closer towards then. But as of right now, we're just going to have to wait maybe April, May time before we get to see any more gameplay from the amazing Spider-Man 2. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate all your faces. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. But with that being said, I'll see you in the clouds.